Next. So this is a very basic use case that we see every day with customers that are wanting to be ready for CMMC. It's not required, but we're responding to RFPs as well. We have a government team at Blue Team Alpha, and we are starting to see CMMC mentioned in the RFPs. So if you're going to go out and try to get a government contract, you're going to already see CMMC level 1, level 2 mentioned. You know, saying at some point in the future, it is going to be required. Within the next 3 years, it will be required. But for now, we're just seeing it mentioned. In this use case, a customer wants to be ready for level 2, CMMC version 2, level 2. So that's still using 800-171. Level 3 uses a different NIST 800-172. So level 2 is 800-171. They're going to improve their entire security program, and we've estimated the budget at 118,000 based on an assessment that says they're going to need a lot of work. They're probably less than 50%. Their security plan is less than 50% ready for CMMC. So if we add everything that we recommend in order to get to 100%, we estimated that budget to be at 118,000 for the year. So the objectives here are very simple. It's to just achieve and maintain compliance with CMMC version 2, and it's all public. It's very easy to follow. We're going to identify and mitigate any threats. That's the whole point, right? I mean, that's why they even added cybersecurity to DFARS in the first place, because of the threats, because of major breaches like OPM. We want to enhance their ability to respond to those threats. You know, being able to recover quickly. That way, the threat actor is not dwelling in the environment for weeks and months. If there is an incident, we can respond quickly, and also do tabletop training so people get comfortable with the plan. Also implement proactive monitoring, dark web monitoring. If there's any kind of data leaks, that's always going to happen first. Before ransomware ever goes onto a victim machine, it always starts with the data theft. So we want to be monitoring for that activity. That way, we potentially can prevent a ransomware attack by seeing the precursor incident. And then develop a comprehensive plan for that continuous improvement, year-long, multi-year, 36-month continuous CMMC compliance. And all of the changes that happen within that 3-year period is being proactive and being ready. So that way, when the next 3-year period comes up for certification, you've already been mindful and vigilant the entire period. Next slide. So in this particular use case, this is the entire plan in 3 buckets. So the first 3 months, we can do the assessment and do the planning. After 3 months, so for the next 9 months, basically the first year is when we do the implementation. Everything that you find during the assessment, and then you figure out where the gaps are. You can prioritize the gaps, create the POAM, that plan of action with milestones, and then so for the next 9 months, you actually implement. And this is something unique, at least with Blue Team Alpha, is the fact that we do both. We do the assessment, we create the POAM, and then we have the team that actually can do implementation as well. And when we combine those two, that's where you get the comprehensive CMMC solution. After the first year, the next 2 years, that's the continuous improvement, continuous certification, and compliance with NIST and other best practices. There is a lot of crosswalk between other frameworks like ISO and like CIS. There's a lot of overlap. So, if the company who wanted to be CMMC certified was also interested in getting certified in other things, it's possible to do that because the security controls are overlapping. And then the best case results, the customer achieves and maintains compliance with CMMC2. They win their contract. They're doing business with DoD. They're protecting the federal contract information and the controlled unclassified information. They have improved visibility into all the threats and their vulnerabilities. They're being proactive for risk mitigation. They have a good incident response plan. The whole executive team has good communication. They know what to do and who to call. Insurance is a part of it, so they know that they're covered. They have legal oversight. They're monitoring the dark web, so if something leaks, they know about it quickly, and they have a plan for just to maintain that security posture throughout the entire the contract with the government and beyond. So that's it. I hope this helped understand a little bit about how DFARS is related to CMMC and how the NIST guidelines are flexible, but really blue team out. From our perspective, we want to lean more towards having good security, and compliance is just the beginning. We'll do CMMC, get certified. Now you're compliant. That's a good start. Now, what else? What else can we do to have really strong security, in order to protect ourselves and the government?
How do you balance the need for robust compliance with the reality of a limited budget?
Yes.
And resources for smaller businesses, for my customers? Are there any cost-effective strategies or tools that you could recommend?
Absolutely. This is something that I care about very much. It's something that I've been studying to try to understand the problem and how to fix this. This is, by the way, the most frequent comment that I've read for CMMC during this comment period is about how do we budget? How does a small, medium business afford to be compliant with CMMC? This is a high bar. So my answer to that, and probably will always be, it's definitely a trade-off between security and cost. And the easiest way to do it is look up quantitative analysis. Most cybersecurity that I've seen is focused on qualitative. Like they say a threat is low, medium, high, or it's a critical threat. It's rarely connected to the cost. But when you do quantitative analysis, which there are tools and companies focused on this type of analysis, that's when you connect the threat to the cost. So in a very simple example, if your company goes offline for 30 days, how much will that cost as a percentage of the total revenue of the company? You can use that number as a way to scale your security budget to say, all right, if we're going to lose $1 million by being offline, I can't spend $1 million to prevent that from happening because it cancels out. So my budget has to be something less than what we would potentially lose in that attack. And then this all becomes a statistics game like they do with insurance underwriting. If there's a flood, how often is there a flood? That type of math.